Hello, Team Mentor Food here today. How's everyone doing? Great, fantastic. I am on a healing journey. If you've been watching my videos, that's what I have been talking about, my healing journey and where I'm at and the things that I've been discovering while on this healing journey. I am a survivor of narcissistic abuse. For many years, I was a target for the narcs as I was grew up with one. My dad's wife was a narcissist. As I was molded and trained for her to be a target for the narcissist, when I went out into the world, I gathered a clan of narcissists. So therefore, I was in a clan of narcissists. Um, so today, I would like to talk about no more shame. No more shame, because one thing, if you are coming from a background of narcissistic abuse, you carry a lot of guilt and a lot of shame and a lot of baggage that really was kind of like put on you. You really weren't the baggage, but you became loaded down with the baggage, and as you are walking in this world, you tend to find yourself in situations that are unhealthy for you, based on the fact that you have narc smell of the narc all over you. So but this video today is about no more shame. And I say that to say that when I was coming up and learning about the world, I went, my sister and I had got an apartment. Well, actually, it was her apartment, and I was living with her. And we lived downtown. And when we moved into the apartment, we had lights. But as we stayed there, my sister was the only one working at this particular time, and I was just looking for work. But I had finally found work. I was working at 2 jobs, as a matter of fact. And so the last job that I would go to one job in the morning, and then I would go to the second job in the evening. And the second job, I would get off about 11:30, and I had to clean up and do whatever I had to do. And because I worked in a fast food restaurant establishment. And after I would clean up, it would be like 12 o'clock. And so at this time, the buses would stop running. And so the buses stopped running. And so I got into a habit of like sitting at the bus stop and like hitchhiking somewhat to get home. And so like this few times, this 2 guys would pick me up and they would take me home and stuff like that. And so they would, constantly, they would come down, at the time that I would work, and they would just kind of like wait there for me, because after a while we kind of built up a relationship, we knew each other, we would talk and stuff like that. So they would wait for me, and I would have a ride home from that time. So this one particular time, I had got home, and I got off the car, went into the place, and our place didn't have any lights at this time, so the lights had been turned out. And being that the lights were turned out, I knew this every time, so I would go into the apartment anyway, and I would just go in and then go to sleep, because I couldn't see nothing else. But I knew how to get in, and I knew where to walk and where not to walk, to get to my bed. And so that's what I did. I did this like for a whole week or 2 straight, so. But this one particular time, I walked into the apartment, and there was somebody in the apartment, but I still couldn't see the person. And so when I walked in, the person raped me. And so while this person is raping me, in the night, all I'm thinking about is, oh my God, this person is going to kill me. They're going to find my body, the next day, and then I'm going to be lying here dead, and it's going to be like my clothes are going to be all ripped off, and, so all this was going through my mind, I'm going to be found here dead the next day. Oh my gosh, what a terrible way to die. But, I just couldn't deal with this. So that's all I was thinking about as this person was mauling through my body and raping me and stuff. I was thinking, oh, they're gonna kill me. They're gonna kill me afterwards. I know they're gonna take my life. But unfortunately, it was really kind of like a blessing that the lights were turned out, because I think if the lights were turned on and I could reach the light to turn it on to see them, then they probably would have killed me. But being that the lights were out, they were not able to kill me. So, when this happened, I didn't, the next day I didn't tell anybody. I just got up and I went to work, and I just like I was acting normally, like nothing had happened, and then I went to my second job, and I just operated like nothing happened to me, because I think at the particular time I was just so grateful to be alive, because most rape, a lot of rape victims, I'm sure they probably killed their person afterwards, but I was just so grateful to be alive. But so I didn't tell anyone. So what happened from that moment on is like years later, it started like coming up, because I would just find myself crying, or find myself being sad, or find myself just not being my normal self. And I didn't know what it was, but what I suppressed was the embarrassment of it, and I suppressed the fact that um, the person took my body like that, and it was like I didn't give my body to this person, they just took my body. So I suppressed it. But then also, what I suppressed anger, because I was angry at my sister, because my sister could have paid the light bill. It was only like $54. And during that time, my brother and I would call my sister money bags, because she kept money all the time. My sister she's good at keeping money, so she would have like this clay pot full of change, and I mean to the top full of change, and then she had money all in her wallet, and she just was always having money. And then she had checks that she didn't cash from her different jobs and stuff like that. So being that I was starting work and she had already been established working and stuff like that, she had more than enough money to pay the lights, but she refused to pay the lights. So when she refused to pay the lights, I was angry at her, because I was saying, if we had lights in here, this would have never happened to me. You did this to me. So in so many ways, I blamed her. So after years later, when it started coming up, the anger was there, towards her. I was really angry with her, because she's selfish, and you're greedy, and you're holding on to your money. And, when all you have to do is just pay this little money and have lights, but you choose to just not, to live in darkness. And so I was so angry at her, because I would always say, if it was me and I had money, I would have turned on the lights, because that's just how I would have done it, because it just didn't make sense for humans to be in the dark when they have money. And so when it started coming out, I went to the narcissist, because at this particular time I didn't know that my dad's wife was a narcissist. So I went to her, and I was telling her what had happened. And so she told me she said, Tracy, you need to tell your sister what happened, that this happened to you, based on the fact that she didn't want to pay the lights, she didn't want to get the lights turned on in the place and stuff like that. And so I got the nerve up, and I did tell her. I told her, I got raped in this apartment, based on the fact that you didn't want to turn on the lights. You had money, but you didn't want to do the right thing with your money. So I got raped, and she was like, oh, well, I'm sorry. Because my sister too is a narcissist. So with narcissists, they don't feel that they've done anything wrong, and they're not going to take the blame, because they look at it like, well, you could have been working, you could have turned the lights on, you could have this, you could have that. But they overlook the fact that they were the ones that could have made the situation a little bit better. But now that I'm healing and I'm on this healing journey, I'm realizing that I have to take responsibility for myself. And so being that I'm taking responsibility for myself, I now talk about the fact that I was raped, and I'm letting out the shame, and I'm letting other women feel comfortable enough to say, you know, I too was raped. Or sometimes men are raped, you know, from the time they're little on up. They're molested or raped, or something happens to them when they're, you know, up in their teens or 20s, early 20s and stuff like that. So anybody that have gone through such terrible sexual abuse, you know, of their body being taken away from them when they didn't give the permission to it, those people are in, you know, are suppressing that. Some people are suppressing that pain of rape. And so nowadays we cannot keep suppressing what happened to us sexually, or what happened to us period in our childhood, what happened to us. Because what happened to me is that I never thought that I would get raped. You know, I never thought, oh, one day I'm going to get raped. But no one ever thinks that they're going to get raped, but it happens. And so when it happens, you are traumatized. You're left traumatized, no matter if you are sexually active and you have a boyfriend or whatever. Because in certain cases, you have husbands that are raping their wives, or boyfriends that are raping their girlfriends. So rape is rape. You know, to take someone's body without their permission is rape, and it's a violation of your body, and no one has a right to do that. But it has happened to a lot of women, and some men it has happened to. And I just want to do this video to just say, let out your rape, let out your sexual abuse, whatever happened to you, let it out, let the shame go, let the pain of it go. And that way you can start dealing with living free in this area. So I shared, this is the first time I shared it with the, you know, with the public like this, but I'm sharing because I don't want to hold it anymore. I want to let it go, because I want to start caring for myself, and I want to start loving myself. And so I give you permission to love yourself and to start caring for yourself today. So if you're looking at this video, please let out your sexual shame. Let it go and tell yourself, no more shame, no more shame, no more shame has to bind you. Okay, so I hope this video has helped someone. Like, subscribe, share, and please leave a comment. Leave your food story. I want to hear what you have to say. Okay, stay on your healing journey. You are champions. You can do it. You are somebody. You are valuable. You are enough. So this is T Mentor Food. God bless you all, and be blessed.